Hello, everyone. We are live at 5 at Broadway.com. It is Wednesday, July 11th. I guess that means 4th of July was a week ago.
It was a week ago.
I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And over there is Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And we have a great guest. What's her name?
Rebecca Naomi Jones.
It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke.
Love it.
She is starring in the fantastic new play, Fire in Dreamland. But
Yes.
first, let's do today's top 5.
Something went so bad that it went right.
That's right.
Okay.
So the play that goes wrong, which is currently playing at Broadway's Lyceum Theater, we had heard a little while ago that August 26th was going to be the last day you could see it, that it was going to close on Broadway, but it was a big lie. It was a big farce. That's not true. It will actually be sticking around Broadway until January 6th, 2019. And by the time it does close on that date, it will have played... Allegedly, unless, you know, they pull this out from under us again. It'll have played 27 previews and 745 regular performances. Currently the longest running play on Broadway.
That's great news for the cast. Congratulations.
Absolutely. We love
Got
the
a gig
cast.
in the fall. Keep that job
Get
going.
through the holidays. Absolutely.
Love
The
it.
cast, Akron Watson, Mark Evans, Preston Truman Boyd, Alex Mandel, Harrison Unger, Jonathan Fielding, and Amelia McLean will stick with the show. And of course, The Play That Goes Wrong is launching a national tour in September of this year in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
Look at that.
Nice. And another man has joined Pretty Woman. Does that work?
Okay,
No.
everything
Yeah,
doesn't have
that's-
to be cute.
I try so hard.
So Pretty Woman, the musical, is in tech right now.
It is.
It starts previews July 20th.
Very excited.
New leading man, Andy Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Kingsley Leggs, a fantastic Kingsley Leggs, is part of the company, but he has left for personal reasons. He's coming back in September.
Oh, okay.
He's expected back in September. But Ezra Knight is joining the cast as James Morse. He was previously seen on Broadway in Festin and Cymbeline, and off-Broadway King Lear, The Jew of Malta, The Merchant of Venice. Very fancy credits.
Yes,
These
absolutely.
are like
He's
public theater credits.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so anyway, it's just a temporary sort of switch, and the show is still starting previews on July 20th.
Can't wait.
Awesome. And a well-known actress was just announced as the lead of a new upcoming Broadway comedy.
I'm super excited. I love her.
Me too. I was so happy that we
Wait,
were.
have you been following her on Instagram?
She's amazing. I think per your recommendation, of course.
Stop.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Alexandra Billings, who played Davina on Transparent, the Golden Globe Emmy Award-winning series, she's making her Broadway debut in The Nap as a renowned gangster.
Ooh.
I know. I love that.
I love that. Billings joins the previously announced Tony nominee Joanna Day, Tony nominee John Allison Conley. It'll be directed by Daniel Sullivan, and it's written by the Olivier nominee Richard Bean, who wrote One Man, Two Governors. And it's a comedy about the world of, I hope I'm saying this right, snooker?
Sure.
Sure.
Right. And it's the British version of pool. So if you've ever seen like The Color of Money or The Hustler, you know, like it
Oh.
seems like it's, you know, a comedy about, but, you know, of course, Britain.
No, and Alexandra is a trans actress, and
She is,
let's
yes.
just give a shout out to how many amazing trans
whoop.
performers are getting great roles
Absolutely.
right
Yes.
now.
Absolutely.
Because over at Straight White Men, two fantastic performers, and then we have Peppermint and Head Over Heels, which I'm
Yes.
seeing tonight.
Exactly.
This is like
Yeah,
the
no.
theater industry is really like
Absolutely.
leading the way
But
in
of
a big.
course they are.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
right.
loving it.
But it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so excited to see this. And it will begin September 5th. It'll open September 27th at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. Congratulations to Alexandra Billings. I'm so excited to see it, for you, all of it.
And a married couple is heading to Broadway together. It's so cute.
This is
So
adorable.
cute.
It's really cute.
So cute. Katie Lowe's and Adam Shapiro are a real married couple,
They are.
and they will be playing Dawn and
Ogie.
Ogie.
For some reason, I always forget how to say Ogie. And Katie Lowe's, you know, as Quinn.
Quinn on
From
Scandal.
Scandal. I used, I watched. Okay, I dropped off.
I was
after a
in and
while,
out,
but,
yeah.
But she's fantastic as Quinn, and Adam Shapiro is on Steve Jobs, and
Yes,
they have a
that's
theater
right.
company in LA called the IAMA Theater Company, and so they're joining the cast, and they're taking over for Caitlin Houlihan and Christopher Fitzgerald, who are fantastic in the parts.
Right.
And I guess we don't know how long they're
We
joining,
don't, no.
but they're coming soon,
They're
like
just
next
taking-
week.
yeah, just
July
taking a little break.
17th. And there's an adorable photo of them on the site, so check that out, and we look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Waitress, the hits that keeps giving.
That's
Keep
right.
Still serving, still serving.
I love that. And some of our favorite boys are throwing an extra party.
Yes,
This sounds fun.
This
Yes,
does sound fun.
yes.
So the 50th anniversary production of The Boys in the Band, which is now on Broadway right now, it is throwing one of those special midnight performances for the Actors Fund. This will happen on Thursday, July 26th, beginning at 11:59 p.m. Of course, at the Booth Theater, and this is a way for like people that are in the industry to be able to go see one of these shows that they normally wouldn't be able to because they have, jobs on stage as well. This will happen. The show is open through August 11th at the Booth Theater, and of course the cast contains all of these incredible people: Zachary Quinto, Matt Bomer, Andrew Reynolds, Charlie Carver, Robin DeJesus, Brian Hutchinson, Michael Benjamin Washington, and Tuck Watkins.
I'm glad you said all of them because I was nervous you were going to prioritize them.
No, never. They're all the boys in the band. But
All
yeah,
of them.
so go see that if you get a chance. And it's a late night, but it'll be great.
There's going to be a boy in the band here next week on Live at 5.
There
Details
is.
to come.
Ooh.
And that's it from me. I'm
Oh.
all done. I'm all done. This was my big return to Live at 5.
Yes.
I've been on
I
vacation.
know. Where the heck have you been?
I've been on vacation. I'm getting married soon.
I know. Spoiler. We were going to announce it.
The big reveal.
But you'll be back hopefully before
Yes.
you get. Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Yes.
Enough about you.
Enough of that's not my day. No.
Rebecca Naomi Jones is here. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you tell us some more about her?
Of course. We have Rebecca Naomi Jones in the studio with us today. She's currently starring in Fire in Dreamland, which is in previews but officially opens next week on July 16th at the Public Theater. Her previous Broadway credits include Significant Other, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, American Idiot, and Passing Strange. She's done a whole lot of awesome stuff. Her screen credits include The Big Sick, Most Likely to Murder, and Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Follow her on Twitter at Rebecca's Her Name, as a la her American Idiot character, and on Instagram at @1RebeccaJones. Leave all your questions for her in the comments below. Everyone, please welcome Paul and Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
And I'm really excited about this play.
Yeah, me too.
I love that you're doing a play.
Me too.
I love that
me
you.
Too.
I love that you do it all.
Me too. I of course I love doing musicals, but it's been really nice the last couple of years to do
Yeah.
more plays. It's nice to.
Yeah. I was actually, refreshing myself on your career. Could you really? Do you know what you were doing 10 years ago? Right now,
Gosh.
you were getting ready to close Passing Strange.
Oh
It was
oh
10
yes,
years.
I was. That's
10 years
absolutely-
ago was Passing Strange when I
Wow.
first saw you, and I was like, "Who's she?
Oh
She's
my
incredible."
Gosh.
And it's so
Wow.
amazing to think about all the great things you've been able to do over those 10 years. You must be
Absolutely.
proud.
Yeah, I am
Wanted
proud.
to give a little 10-year shout out.
It's actually amazing that you bring that up because the theater that we're in right now is the theater where we started Passing Strange at the Public before we went to Broadway.
Wow.
And so it's the first time I've acted in that room since then. I've been in that room since then.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've acted in that room since then, and it really did bring back a lot of memories.
Wow.
And feelings.
So, okay, let's talk about Fire in Dreamland. This is by Rena Groff,
Mm-hmm.
right? And set this play up because it's really, first of all, I'm a little obsessed with amusement parks and Coney Island, and I know that's where that's how the play sort of starts.
Yeah.
And the history. There's a lot of history. I love plays that sort of comment on things that happened in the past. Let's lay this out for people.
Okay.
Who are you? Where are you? It literally opens in Coney Island.
Yes, it opens in Coney Island. I'm on a boardwalk.
Yep.
And basically the play opens with me having a moment of mourning the loss of my father, who I lost years ago.
Yeah.
But it's an anniversary, and I live on Coney Island, and meet this charming man, and
Yes.
sort of end up going on an adventure. And
What's his name?
His name is Yop.
Yep.
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 Yep. His
Yep.
name is Yop.
He's from where?
He is Dutch.
He's Dutch.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But it's not. It's like a little. There's some delicious little things in the play that are like, not exactly said, but we know that is true.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's from Holland. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're into it.
I am. Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
into
it's
it. Yeah.
like a romance.
It's a romance.
There's
Yeah.
a romance here.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what is Fire in Dreamland. I was actually doing some Googling on this, and this was like a real piece of New York history.
Yes. Yes.
This was an actual there was an amusement park called Dreamland.
Yes, there was an amusement park called Dreamland on Coney Island.
Yeah.
When Coney Island was really in its heyday. And
1911?
1911.
Is that right?
1911, and it was there was a massive fire.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah.
And a lot of animals die. It's
Yes.
horrible. I mean, it's like a really sad.
It's actually really quite terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to go into your opening position in the beginning of the play. Like,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
just like, it's really sad.
It's really dark. It's really dark. It's
Yeah.
a dark history.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's like the setting is this magical amusement park, you know,
Right.
that is supposed to bring all of this joy to people, and
Yeah.
it did. But yeah, so it's I think it's the perfect this is perfect historical backdrop for this play that is about being in a place of devastation and having to somehow push through that and come through that on the other side, personally or politically or historically.
So it's been fun for you. It sounds
Yeah.
like you're enjoying it.
I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's like it's a quirky, weird play, and the structure is difficult,
Yep.
and that's exciting because it means that the three of us actors in it have to continue to really be in the driver's seat the whole time, which is great. It's like it's great to work hard.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and to have something to navigate, because when you come out on the other side, it feels deeply satisfying.
So do you like being the girl? I mean, you have two guys.
I do like it.
Yes.
I do like
Yes.
it. Yeah, especially the well-developed girl.
Right.
You know, I mean, this character is like there are just a lot of complexities, both to her and to her circumstances, and I think that is the most thrilling part about it for me is that I'm playing the well-developed girl that we are following. So yeah, she's a really fun, special character to play.
And I know Kyle Beltran is in the cast, and you've
Yes.
worked with him before.
Yes,
Yes,
at the
and-
same theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who is your other dashing leading man?
He is dashing, in fact.
How do you say his name?
Yes, excellent question. His name is Enver Jokai.
Nice.
Yes.
Where did he come from?
He came from LA. I believe he's Albanian American.
Okay.
But he's like very much American. But I said that like, so don't worry, which is not what I meant
Right.
at all.
Right.
But he's great, and yes, he came from LA. He does a lot of TV, but he did have a theater background. I
Right.
believe he went to NYU and planned on doing theater, but really just ended up being pulled to the TV land.
Is it fun to? I'm sure one of the things that's really fun about your job is when, I mean, obviously you know people like Kyle, but when you get cast in something like this, when someone you don't know, and you walk into like the first day of rehearsal,
Yeah.
it must be fun to sort of navigate getting to know a stranger like that.
Sure is. It sure is. Especially someone who like none of my friends know this person,
Right.
and you know it's really like what a mysterious stranger.
Can't even say his name.
Yeah. It was like week 3 when I was like, how do you pronounce it? I'm so sorry, I haven't asked before. How do you pronounce it? Yeah, but he's lovely and a hard worker and really a great person to work with.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you remember Total Package? That was fun.
Absolutely. It
Total
was
Package.
so fun.
What was that? That was your Broadway.com vlog.
That was my
one of my
Broadway.com
favorite titles,
vlog.
by the way, for a vlog.
It was
because
great.
you were playing who and what?
I was playing Yitzhak in Broadway's Hedwig and the Angry
Total
Inch.
Package.
Total Package.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah. I love
was-
that you did that. That was awesome.
Me
It was fun to
too.
get like a peek at that.
Yeah.
Time. And now you have that document. Someone was just here who was a vlogger, and they were like, "Oh, now I have this document forever, like
It's
out there
true.
of like that." Yes, you should just do it for us for every show.
Okay.
You should film everything. Just
Yeah,
keep going.
just keep going. Just
film
it's-
everything in your life.
It's actually so good for me to have been encouraged to do that because I'm usually sort of bad at like documenting the things
Yeah.
and like people are often like, so what is your next project? And I'm just like, oh, I'm doing a play right now, and they're like, you're not telling anyone, so you need to probably do that.
You're not one of those actors that just loves like promoting everything on social media.
I'm
like,
not. I actually do believe I should get a little bit better about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying right now, actually.
It's
but
hard. It's hard. It takes a lot of effort.
It takes
I'm
effort,
horrible
and
at
it
it, too.
also is like, you know, it's like it goes against this like part of my being that's like trying to, I don't know, stay. I don't even know what, you know. It's like we're not in that world really anymore, so you have to keep moving. But I have like a truly Jewish mom who promotes things at least to her friends, so I feel like I'm somewhat taken care of. So.
And who were your Hedwigs?
My first was John Cameron Mitchell.
Start with the first.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that was
Everyone's first.
that's everyone's first. It's everyone's first. Yeah. So that was a delicious couple of weeks, and then I had Darren Criss for 3 months,
Yes.
and then Tay Diggs for 2 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully Darren Criss is going to get an Emmy nomination tomorrow. Did you
Oh,
watch
yeah.
him as a Cunanan on,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Versace?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him talking about doing that while it was happening
yeah.
and being like, I could tell it was like something meaningful to him.
Yeah.
And like was really doing the work on him, which is just so exciting.
You've been able to do a lot of things that have a lot of fans, like American Idiot. I mean, like, you've done a lot of these sort of like hot button things.
Yeah.
What is that? Is it you? Maybe it's you. Maybe you just attract.
Must be me.
It's you.
Yeah. No,
you.
I think it's just like being at the right place at the right time. I mean, I feel like a couple of those shows have just been like finger on the pulse, Although I actually have been feeling a lot right now that if we did American Idiot right now, it would be like people would be ready for that story right now. I really feel
Yeah, it's so
just
true. I
like
didn't even think about that.
yeah. I mean, that was a Bush era show, and I just feel
Yeah.
like we would be eating it up right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like shows that are have young people riled up are have a wonderful built-in fan base, and I still am friendly with some great fans from that show. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was riled up about Significant Other. I love that
I
play.
loved it too.
And I just saw Skin Tight actually last
Oh,
night.
you
yeah,
did?
Joshua Harmon's new play.
Yeah, he's
Fantastic.
so talented. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. Was that a great experience?
It was a great experience.
Yeah, and Lindsay Mendez has a Tony now.
I know. Every couple of weeks, I'm like, oh, Lindsay, you have a Tony. Like, what is the deal? This is insane. I mean, not insane, because she's like an amazing actress and hard worker, but all of that, it's just like, it's just delicious. But yeah, it was the best. I mean, I've worked with Tripp a bunch.
Yep,
Trip Coleman,
Yeah.
and I love him, and he's a great friend. And so when he was like, "Hey, you want to do this thing?" I was like, "Yeah," and really, it was so great because I had like a supporting role on Broadway, which meant like I got to just like have a lot of fun,
Right.
support
Right.
Gideon, really. Like we were
Right.
all just like supporting Gideon, doing
Yep.
this really incredibly
Yep.
hard job, and then just like hang out with really fun people, which was
Right.
great. Like Sass Goldberg and I were backstage
Yeah.
most of the show, just like changing clothes together, and it just what that means is like I got a personal comedy show
Yeah.
every night, and
Yeah.
so it was just.
And
so
that's why
fun.
now you're working really hard.
That's why now I'm like
Now you're
I
doing
am that
something
person.
where
Yeah.
You're so in it, and this is payback.
It's true. I've been thinking about Gideon a lot during this experience because, like, I only leave the stage to do quick changes, and it's just like
Wow.
even during the quick
Yum.
changes, I'm like off stage delivering lines, So
Wow.
it's just like, okay, I get you, namaste, universe.
Hey, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Are there any fans
Of course.
questions from the people out there?
Always. So one question is, what drew you to this role? Like, what made you want to take on this show?
Well, it's not like the most happy circumstance, but I did lose my father 10 years ago, right after Passing Strange closed
Oh,
on
wow.
Broadway. My father passed away, and this character just, of course, spoke to me because of that. And when I first read it, I think I really loved that it was a play that held within it the space for a person who is mourning, but also a lot of comedy. And I just feel like the way Rinna writes comedy in this way that's like, it's so natural, it sort of just like comes out of the circumstance, it doesn't feel forced, really appealed to me. Like there's this, it's a play about something serious, but there's a lot of lightness to it too. And I think I loved that about the writing.
Also, jumps a lot.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, it jumps a lot. There's time shifting, sort of like the way it happens in a movie, which is like a really hard challenge, but a fun experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Is your pre-show ritual different depending on if you do a play versus when you do a musical?
Absolutely. Yeah. I still do a warm up, but a very different kind of warm up. Although I do, shout out to Liz Kaplan, I do always like start with her breathing exercises and do what she calls pocket yoga. So I get my body loosened up in the same way for sure. I just like make sure I breathe into all of my muscles. But I do a longer singing warm up when I'm doing a musical. And for this, it's usually shorter. But I think just when I'm doing a musical, it's just like less talking during the day and
Right.
a lot, a lot more stress and fluids and all of that. But for this, I'm talking a lot as well. I have a 5-page monologue, so
Wow.
so
What
you
was
gotta
that
stay
like to
lubricated.
learn?
Oh my God, it was the last part that I had memorized, of course, because I was afraid, I think, to memorize it for a long time.
What's the process? What's the process to learn something like that?
Well, usually I would say for me, I'm like really good at memorizing things in like a cumulative way. Like I like to I'll do section by section, and I definitely like to use thoughts instead of just like memorizing words. I like to sort of think about how I got to this sentence from the previous sentence and all of that. And then also I'll sort of memorize line by line or thought by thought, and then get to the end of that paragraph and do the whole thing and then do the next thing. But this, with this one, I lucked out because we actually, I had for some reason really waited to like officially memorize the monologue until tech. The dialogue scenes
Wow.
just came more naturally, and I memorized them more on purpose because I had to be, with Enver or with
Yeah.
Kyle, present in the scene for them. But with the monologue, I felt like, okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer to memorize it, and I really lucked out because originally we were gonna have the monologue all in one spot. I was just going to stand and deliver. And when we got to tech, Marissa, our director, had a thought about maybe we should actually stage it and have it be like a bigger thing and have you really, really like imagining the circumstances of this monologue you're telling and really like taking us through it physically. And because of that, I was able to really memorize while doing. So it
Right.
became a bit like choreography. Like, I think I memorized the words because it was where I was in space, was like sort of affecting what I was doing. So, so it all sort of fell into place. Yeah.
Do you listen to music to get into like character?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the other thing is, depending on the character, I listen to different kinds of music, for sure. Right now I'm listening to like a lot of mostly female singers singing about sad things. But like your Joni Mitchells, your Fiona Apples.
That's what I always listen to.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So
But
I'm basically ready to do this play. Yeah.
it's fun.
That's
But
all
I
listen
also
to.
like sometimes I listen to Motown because that's like reminds me of my dad. Like stuff just kind of gets me little juicy and open and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any
Yeah.
dream roles?
Oh gosh.
You've done so much new work.
I have done a lot
Any
of new
classic
work.
things that you really.
Oh wow, that's a great question. I don't know. I've never. It's always been a hard question for me. I think like I always, even when I was like a little girl and I wanted to do this, I think I always was like, I don't know if I have that. I think I want to do new stuff.
You were like a little girl going, I want to do new work.
Yeah, I know, which is
Did
truly
you do
insane.
any classic musicals like in high school or college?
Yeah. In high school, I mean, but it's funny. Both high school and college, we did a lot of straight plays. But I mean, I certainly did like summer camp. I did all kinds of musicals and like
what?
middle
Like
school
what?
and
I
stuff.
want to fantasize. I want to.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I did 2 different productions, one at summer camp and one in middle school of Once Upon a Mattress.
Oh.
Never played Winifred.
Okay. Who were you?
It was like some little ass characters.
Yes.
I think I was Lady in Waiting.
Okay, not Lady Larkin.
No, I wish.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rub it in. Sorry.
No, I was Lady Larkin, but actually in that summer camp production, you know who was Winifred? Natalie Portman.
Oh, you were paired with Natalie Portman.
Who's ever heard of her?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was really. my dad made me like a paper version of those pointy Middle Ages hats, like the
Yeah.
So oh my God, I'll never forget that. With I had like, some fabric coming out of it to be so dumb. Children.
So Natalie Portman sang "Shy."
She sure did.
She
sure
she
did.
Sang.
Yeah.
She sang. I don't know.
She sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was
Look
that
at
was one of
that.
my big turning points.
So you open what next week?
Yeah, we open Monday.
You ready to open?
Yeah.
And then once you open, the public theater runs aren't that long. Like,
Correct.
because it goes through August 5th.
Yeah.
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 And
We,
people,
it's like,
why do you think people should check out this play? I mean, it's a new play. It's
Yeah, I mean, here's why I think people should check out this play, because I really believe that while the story is quite personal and quite specific, the overall message is one of hope and one of, I think, like, hey, all, let's get together and keep it moving. Like, let's do what we can to gather ourselves and gather our children and gather our friends and, like, find what else is out there. You know,
You're saying it's timely, is what you're saying.
I'm saying it's
You're
timely.
saying let's gather it.
Let's gather it and keep it moving.
Okay, keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah. Just to be-
Awesome. Well, everyone, it's playing at the Public Theater through August 5th. Fire in Dreamland. This is the fantastic. What's her name? Rebecca Jones. Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Sure thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every day on Facebook. And you can listen to Live at 5 episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in tomorrow when we talk to Nika Graf Lanzarone about her upcoming 54 Below show.